Go ahead. Make my day.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club.
Here's Johnny.
I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
This is Sparta!
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
You talking to me?
I see dead.
Houston, we have a problem.
Just a drink. A martini, shaken not stirred.
Why so serious?
I'm gonna make him an offer he can't refuse.
Welcome to Dinner and a Podcast. Here are your hosts, Steve, Joe, and Mike.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 65 of Dinner and a Podcast, a show where three best friends get together, share a meal and a conversation, discussing all things pop culture, movies, TV, and comics. Make sure to check out our Facebook page by searching Dinner and a Podcast, our website, dinnerandapodcast.weebly.com. There you can find comic reviews, full comic synopses, dinner and a movie reviews, and just a bit outside, which is our sports section. Also visit our shop where you can buy pins and stickers of our logos. Our Twitter and our Instagram feed are at Dinner Podcast. Want to give some shout outs to the Geeks Talk Back, the More Gooder Than Podcast, the Blue Shirt Talk Podcast, Not For Nothing Radio, VHS, Nerds with Words, Gooners in the USA, Not Another Nerdy Podcast, and Aussie and the Palm. Hey Joe.
Yes, Steve.
Do you happen to like cookies?
I love cookies.
What kind of cookies do you like?
I like chocolate chip. I like Oreos.
Yeah, Oreos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're different, right?
They are different.
You know, I don't like Oreos.
Really?
There's something wrong
I like chocolate chips. I love chocolate chips. I'd take a chocolate chip over an Oreo any day.
I like pinoli cookies. Those are really good.
Because you're the world's oldest man. Pinoli cookies. That's he's going to say the S cookies.
Rainbow cookies. Do you like cupcakes?
I love cupcakes.
Well, I have a friend. Her name is Marie DeZio.
I think Joe has a friend.
Joe has a friend.
I have a business partner.
There we go.
Her name is
Marie
DeZio, and she is a...
We call her old cement hands.
Also, she cement boots. She's also a murderer.
She makes those too.
Yes. She bakes by day, murders by night. She makes amazing confectionery items, right? That's confectionery items. She makes cupcakes, pull-apart cakes.
I bet you didn't know you had a tagline, Marie. Bakes by day, murders by night.
Did you say confectionery or confiscated?
Either one. Either or.
Check she's really good at it. If you get into prison fantastic. And she bakes you like a file right into the cake, you can't even see it.
You never even know. She's covered in fondant. People will be like, ooh, that's a nice fondant file. Nope, it's real. And it'll break you out of prison. Check out her stuff. It's at DeZio Bakes. That's DIZEO BAKES on Instagram. And if you want to order something from Marie, or if you want to order a hit on somebody, it's
good comments.
It's
please, for your own well-being.
DeZioBakes@gmail.com. Today's show is a special request from our biggest #1 fan in the world, Librarian Kate. And Librarian Kate has been asking for this for many, many, many weeks, and she's finally going to get it tonight. She's going to get her Rick and Morty special episode.
Can I cut in real quick?
You can cut in as much as you like.
If you want to become our number 6 fan,
1 through 5 taken.
Get on iTunes and leave a comment.
Yeah.
Because we'll give you a Funko.
We have a Funko Pop. I actually bought another Funko Pop yesterday to give away as well.
Really?
I bought a Black Panther Funko Pop to give away. That's pretty cool.
So if you want to become number 6, because number 1 through 5, they're already taken.
Well, number 1 is Librarian Kate.
Right.
Number 2 is Paige.
Right.
Number 3 is Phil.
Right.
Number 4 is probably Sebi.
Yeah.
Sebi's up there.
Seb's going to take that real personal since we've known him for like 20 years.
Well, Seb's the only one that's actually been on the show.
Right.
Yeah.
But Librarian Kate interacts with us way more than anybody else.
That's true.
And I get comments from Phil every time.
Phil's
amazing. Phil's great.
Creeping up there.
Yeah. He got his pins and his stickers. He took a nice Instagram picture of that. I don't know if you guys saw that.
He put toys in it.
Yes.
Yeah,
he did.
Very cool,
he did with toys. That was pretty cool. I know he left a comment on something. I was supposed to read it, and I totally forgot to. Sorry about that, Phil.
Nothing like 2 weeks later.
Yeah, whatever. But before we get into the Rick and Morty stuff, Joe, you got any news?
You know it.
Yes. I love it. I love it.
So I got a bunch of comic book news, and I got a bunch of silly stuff.
Oh, okay. I got a bunch of video game stuff.
You got video games?
Yes.
So let's do comics, video games, and then we'll get into the silly stuff.
Okay. Sounds like a plan.
Before we get into the real silly stuff, we missed a really big death last week for our generation. We just completely spaced it.
Who'd I miss?
Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries, the lead singer of the Cranberries.
Zombie?
Yep.
Zombie.
And Linger.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
Let the bodies hit the floor.
It's big for us. Like, she was they kind of defined a sound.
She didn't, like, die of old age, did she?
No.
40-something?
46, I think. Found dead in a hotel room.
Wow.
They ruled out foul play, but they were waiting for the coroner to come back with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know how many of her songs I know, but her voice, like, a lot of Europeans, when they sing, sound American.
Right.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But she still sounded Irish.
Yes.
When she sang.
Right.
Yeah, she had a really nice
What about
sound.
I would walk 1,000 miles. I would walk 500 miles. Those guys sounded very Irish.
Yeah, but
And I would walk 500
she was much,
miles,
much
and
bigger.
I would walk 500 miles.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, that's what I had. I thought we should mention that.
Yes, absolutely.
Because we've kind of walked away from the bodies. Bodies going to hit the floor here in a minute.
Who, mine?
Yeah, yours.
Oh,
Marie.
Welcome to my life.
Mike,
Marie, I need some work done. Let's call it a cake.
She would kill me, too. I'm starting to believe she would kill me.
She's number 5 on our list.
Oh, Marie.
Yeah, Marie's got to be up in that top 5.
Yeah, she's
Marie's
number 5.
Marie's
She's
number
actually
4.
giving us
Sebby's
things.
out.
Sebby's sick.
Yeah, Seb, when was the last time you
out.
baked me a cake?
Yeah,
He brought us presents.
he did. He gave a shit on a shingle.
Yeah, but she baked me cookies.
He gave you bag on a dicks.
Bag on
Bag on
it.
a
dick.
He did give me a bag of dicks. No, he's
Bag on a dicks is
It's
what you
something
want to
completely
do
different.
if you don't want to have babies.
he's number 5.
Maybe you gave him one of those too.
He's in the top 5. And then Zalak's in number 6. Maybe.
Yeah.
Crickets.
Oh, poor Joe.
Poor Joe. He's just a bit outside, you would say.
Ooh, I like that.
All right, so back to the news. My favorite current comic book artist,
Yeah.
Brian Michael Bendis.
Yeah, he's a writer, I think.
Is he a writer?
Yeah, he's a writer.
Thought he did some art too.
I don't think so.
No? All right. Either way, he's
You're just not the biggest fan. It's art. Joe sees the stuff he doodles on his napkins
Yes.
at restaurants.
he's part of DC now.
Yeah. Oh,
and
yeah.
the first book he's going to be a part of is Superman Action Comics 1000.
Oh, nice.
And it's going to be a collaboration with Jim Lee.
They got a while for that, though. Because I think it's only like in the 70s now.
It's coming up.
I could be completely wrong. I'm all up to date on my Action Comics. But
Right.
That's cool.
So the big concern was he's going to come in on Superman.
Yeah.
Where does he go from there? So they're talking about putting him on runs with either Justice League or a Batman book, or going a little outside the box and giving him Green Arrow. I think anything that this man touches is great.
I think you give him something that's struggling. Isn't that like normally what you would do? You bring in a big writer, a big popular writer that's famous for big stories, and you give him somebody that's struggling. Like right now, King is doing a really good job with Batman. Give him somebody that's struggling. Get like Green Arrow's struggling.
Right.
Green Arrow's not doing great right now, so that would be a good choice. I haven't read a lot of Justice League lately. That sounds like a good choice too.
Yeah, I mean,
A lot of complex storyline.
I loved his Avengers. Mm-hmm. It was great.
Yeah, I have his new Avengers.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, pretty good.
You can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, especially if Jim Lee's drawing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's definitely a book that I'll go pick up.
Yeah.
So you just mentioned Tom King, and he made a big announcement last week because he's kind of the it guy in comics. Like he's
doing great, man.
He did The Vision,
Yeah.
which was like the biggest thing Marvel did a year ago or a year and a half ago. He's been doing Batman, right? He brought back Mr. Miracle, right, for DC.
Mr. Miracle's killing it. I can't wait till that comes out on trade.
So he was at a convention. It was DC and DC is what they called it. They did a DC comic book convention in DC, in Washington. And he talked about his new like mini event. They're calling it Sanctuary.
Yeah, okay.
It's a really unique idea. It said it will follow a crisis center in the DC universe designed for superheroes to come and discuss their personal and psychological effects of a career in crime fighting. So what he said was like if a bunch of people spent their entire day dealing with supervillains, horrific issues, constantly involved in violence, they'd have some PTSD.
Okay.
It's a really unique idea to put like do superheroes suffer for what they do mentally after like look at Batman.
Yeah.
He can't take off, like he can't not be Batman. He's so psychologically broken.
Yeah.
So his idea is to explore a little bit of that. And he said it's definitely his small series of Sanctuary is going to play a much bigger role in a secretive event that DC's working on but cannot be discussed.
Interesting.
And he said the term crisis center, which is what they're going to call where the superheroes go, is super important for the event.
Huh.
So people are speculating they're going to do another Crisis because their biggest event ever
Yeah,
was
it was
Crisis
Crisis.
on an Infinite Earths.
Yep. Yeah.
So
No, yeah, I like what King's doing with Batman. Really good. Every week is good. What else you got?
So Marvel got back the rights for Conan the Barbarian. This was a big comic book in the 80s, very, very popular. We had the movies and all that stuff. I think Dark Horse had the rights to it.
yeah, I want to say they did.
Yep, and now Marvel has it back, and they're all very happy about this because there's a lot you could do with this, universe, I guess, that's already out there.
Yeah, it was a cool movie.
Yeah.
Cool movie, cool concept.
I'd seen a snippet, I guess, from one of the previous comics, and it was like Conan fighting Thor.
Oh, that's
So I
cool.
was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Or
all right.
There was another picture. It looked like a more modern, updated version.
Yeah.
But it was like modern Thor, Conan, and then kind of looked like old man Logan standing next to it. So I don't know if that's the new artwork that they're going to put out with it.
I wonder where that's going to fit
How
in.
did they get it back from Dark Horse?
I guess they're.
Did they crush their enemies?
I guess their rights
See the
ran
driven
out.
before you in the
Yeah.
lamentations of their women.
Or much like everything else, they're probably like.
Joe just talked right through it.
Yes.
I wonder what they're going to do with Hercules, because they have Hercules in an Avengers book now. Because wouldn't they kind of be very similar?
Yeah, I guess so.
Strong dudes.
Yeah.
Conan has a rich history of having really, really evocative artwork.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like from back in the day, he's
yeah.
famous for having it's a whole style of art that was created specifically, by the early Conan guys.
Yep.
So I don't know if Marvel does that kind of art though.
May-
They were a lot of paintings,
Yeah.
right? And it was the scantily clad women and the ridiculously oversized guys in loincloths. It was a very distinct. When you see Conan art, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's from an early Conan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You get away with that with a Dark Horse.
Yeah, I don't know if Marvel will be able to get away with that.
Not now, at least.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. I wonder if they're the right company to have that property.
Right. I mean, it's there, so I'm assuming Dark Horse wasn't using it anymore, or whatever their agreement was. It was up. They didn't renew it. Marvel got it back. But we like the DC animated movies.
Love 'em.
We love them. We watch them all the time.
Yep.
I read that they're thinking about doing a Superman animated movie based off of the Red Sun
They've been talking
storyline.
about that for
Yeah.
a while now.
Because they're doing Gotham by Gaslight.
I can't wait for that. I can't wait.
The
I
first
can't wait.
Elseworlds.
I
Yeah.
can't wait to see Batman with a collared cape that those English trench coats
Right.
that have the top of the trench coat kind of layer over the bottom piece. I want his cape to look like that.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
Like Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to see that. Oh, it's going to be so cool.
Yeah. And this Superman story is a Mark Millar story.
Yeah.
Where instead of landing in a farm in Kansas, he lands on a farm in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And the Russians are using Superman to fight the Cold War.
Right.
Yeah, he has
So-
the hammer and sickle as his... No, it's a red...
Not the Cold War. Stalin's using Superman to fight for him.
Okay.
So I'm like, I think this will be great. I'll watch it. It's like you said about the DC movies. Instead of doing these universe movies, just take a small story and just adapt it into the movies.
Yeah, I mean, that's a really well-known run.
Yeah.
I think that's one of DC Animated's strong points though, is that that's what they do.
No, but like the live action we were talking about.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
take one of
okay.
these stories
Yes,
and turn
yes,
it into
yes.
live action, and it's
You're
a
right.
one shot. You don't have to worry about tying it into anything else. But their animated movies are fantastic.
Yeah,
I
they're
can't
good.
wait for this.
So, there was a big shakeup at DC. Everybody's out.
Really?
Everybody but Jeff Johns is out.
Yeah.
They gave them all
Packages?
producer roles.
Oh,
Like, hey, why don't we'll give you a job to not do anything and get out of the way.
Right.
So apparently, the guy who's been heading their horror division, which did Annabelle,
Right.
and a bunch of they've had a really lucky run with horror movies recently, like Insidious and Annabelle. That's all them.
Yeah.
This guy was moved over to run DC now and try to get them back in the direction. I kind of think they should give up on the
universe.
Yeah, just give up. Who's done it besides Marvel?
Yeah.
Anywhere.
Yeah. Well, X-Men was pretty good.
They're
But it's a
not-
Marvel property too.
They're
Yeah.
And eventually they folded up shop so bad, we got to sell all of Fox.
Yeah, yeah.
No, but who else has them? Anywhere.
No one.
Everyone wants one. No one can get it off the ground.
Yep.
Because you have to commit 10 years to doing it, and it's too hard to do.
And you got to keep people interested for 10 years.
Yeah, it's very hard to do. And you almost have to treat it like they treat TV shows, not like they treat movies. And it's a very different mindset, I think, and I don't think most companies can do it.
Yeah.
I would rather just see one-offs.
Yeah.
Yeah, me
DC
too.
has lots of great storylines. Or do like a trilogy and then be done. New characters, you want to do a Batman trilogy, whatever, and then move on.
And the one-shots would sell more toys because it would change every time.
Yeah, more everything.
You know? I don't know why they don't do that. I don't know why they're so stuck on continuity and storylines.
Like, if someone doesn't work, like Jesse Eisenberg, now you're committed to him.
Yeah.
In this greater universe. Well, you got to come up with some ridiculous way to write him out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But if you just did, like, oh, I don't like the way what's-his-name played whoever, just move along.
Yeah.
You do another...
Yeah, but like we always talk about too, like you have someone like Batman, you could do an older Batman, you can do a middle-aged Batman, you can go back to a young Batman, and then go back to old Batman, just do a different story.
That's what I mean. You could do year one.
If you look at the release dates of the DC animated stuff, year one, then Dark Knight Returns, then,
Because they're not linked.
Right. They're not linked. They're all separate. They have different voice actors.
Yes. And you don't know.
Pick
You don't
them
care.
up wherever you want to watch, or whatever you want to watch.
Right.
And you're not creatively tied to whatever the tone and
the contracts,
choices, and the contracts that the other films made.
Yeah. The animation is different. They're not all drawn exactly the same. The Batman from Doom looks completely different than the year one Batman. And you're fine with it.
Yeah.
You don't care.
And I think that would let you get better directors, because how many directors have come into DC and I can't work in this tightly defined role.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't express myself creatively, so I'm just going to go do something else.
Right.
Where if you're like, what's your take on The Flash? Like, don't worry about what anyone else did. How do you want to tell a story of The Flash?
Yeah.
You'll get directors coming in telling unique stories.
Right.
Because there's probably 4 or 5 trades for every one of those characters. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like you said, you pulled a Booster Gold one that you thought was great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why not do that? If it works, why not do it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Instead of how do we tie Booster Gold in? Who cares? Just do the story.
Right.
It's Booster Gold. Here you go.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm.
I knew nothing about Booster Gold until I read 2-3 weeks ago's Action Comics. And I learned all I needed to learn about Booster Gold in 3 or 4 pages of Action Comics. I didn't have to go back and read trades. I wanted to,
right?
Because I was interested in his backstory, but I didn't need it. I understood that he was a football player.
But that's what good writing does.
Exactly.
Like, you're gonna read it. You're gonna fall in love with the character, and now you know enough about this guy to be like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna go buy something else from them.
Right, and that's what I did. Like, I'm not stupid. I could figure out. I could put things together to figure out, the story that they're trying to tell me. I get it. So hopefully they'll do that.
Yeah. So I'm gonna keep segueing right through all this.
Segue Joe.
News.
Segue Joe.
So we were talking about Fox and selling off their rights. So I saw on Facebook the other day 2 what if castings for Fantastic Four, and I think they looked fantastic. The first one was Emily Blunt as Invisible Woman.
Which one is Emily Blunt again? I'm so bad with names.
If I'm not mistaken, she was in 50 Shades of Grey.
No, isn't she the one from the Tom Cruise one where he fights the aliens?
War of the Worlds?
No, the other one.
Mummy?
No, where it resets every day.
Oh,
Replicants?
No. The Day After Tomorrow. No, The Edge of Tomorrow. Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow. Live, Die, Repeat. Yeah, that was that one.
I don't know. I still don't know who Emily Blunt is, but okay.
Hold on, I'm looking. Yeah, I think I'm right about that.
She look good, Joe? Is she blonde?
Yeah, well, I mean, you could always change that for the character.
Because the one in the last movie wasn't, right?
No, it was Jessica Alba.
No, the Fan Forrester.
No, and they put that weird wig on her.
Oh, yeah. The shitty movie.
Who else did they cast? Or looking to cast?
For Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Edge of Tomorrow, Devil Wears Prada, Looper, Girl on a Train, Sicario.
Let me see a picture. I know the name.
Yeah, you'll know as soon as you see her. Hold on.
Mr. Fantastic was going to be John Krasinski from The Office.
Isn't that her husband?
Is it?
I think it's her husband.
Jim?
Yeah, Jim.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I think I'm almost certain that's her husband.
Jim wants to be a superhero so bad.
Yeah, John Krasinski's her husband.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah.
They were thinking about him to be Captain America.
Here's the thing, though. I've heard people say, I listened to a real inside Disney podcast that says, you will not see any of those characters for 5 or 10 years because they don't know if they're even getting them for 18 months, and then you're going to put together movies. You're 5 years away from seeing
supposedly
anything.
someone else owns the rights to Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
not Fox.
No, it's a German.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
Mike
we
was
talk
telling
about
me
this,
about
that.
but
Yeah,
the talk from inside Disney is like they're just gonna go, how much?
Yeah, how much?
Like,
We'll
it's
figure
like,
it out.
Well, 10 million. They're like, oh, all right, whatever.
Yeah, she almost looks like Julia Roberts there, doesn't she? In that picture,
A little bit.
a little bit.
Yeah, I mean that's a good. I have a feeling you're a long way away from seeing any of them. Plus, I think if they're smart, they're gonna let the Fox universe die and be forgotten before they have to tie it in. Plus, they've clearly already planned like their next phase.
Right.
So why scrap it?
Right.
You have the next phase, do that, and then when you're ready to do your following phase,
You have more
I
characters.
have all these characters now.
Also in the palm, we're like, yeah, this is going to be phase 6.
That's what I mean. You have
Yeah.
plenty of time.
Yeah.
You have plenty of time.
Yeah.
So when you're tied, you don't want to sign another contract, Chris Evans? No problem. We'll cast a new Wolverine.
Right.
And we'll get 10 years out of whoever that, actor will be.
Sure.
I'm in no rush.
Speaking of Phase 6, we might be getting Black Widow.
A movie. Yeah, I heard about that.
It has a writer.
I hope it's a buddy cop movie.
I read it might be the rated R version of Marvel DC Marvel Universe movies, that they want to take it down a very darker path.
Like what her name actually means. She's
Yeah.
like this, she goes assassinates people through seduction and like.
How great would that be? Like you take Black Widow and you do like a Bond movie with her.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. That'd be like Atomic Blonde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
They're kind of doing it, right? What's that one coming out this year? Red Sparrow. Whatever.
Red Sparrow with is it Jennifer?
Jennifer Lawrence. She's like a Russian
she's
agent.
a Russian seductive spy, mercenary killer person. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
You could get a good buddy cop out of that, though.
I want to see her with Hawkeye or Bucky.
Yep, very good buddy cop.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I think.
I would love to see them go real dark though. They haven't done that at all.
Yeah.
No, yeah.
They have not. It doesn't look like Black Panther looks a little darker.
Yeah.
But I would love to see them go dark. Let's see where they go, with a real adult film. I think
they could pull it off.
I think so too.
I got our tickets to Black Panther. By the way, you coming?
When is it?
February 15th, Thursday night, 10:30.
Sure.
In Manhattan. Ooh. You want to do it in Staten Island? Would you do it in Staten Island? I'll buy the tickets in Staten Island.
I'll do Manhattan.
You'll do Manhattan?
It's so pain in the ass for me to get to Manhattan from where I live.
I'll do it in Staten Island. I can get the tickets on Movie Pass.
We'll do Manhattan. It's fine.
Okay. Deal.
And Marvel TV news.
Yeah.
A TV show that I haven't watched. I know you haven't watched it yet. Did you watch Runaways?
I haven't. I have to Cody it. And
this was Hulu, right?
Yeah. Season 2 is coming out.
It supposedly was very, very good.
So if it's good enough for a season 2, I'll give it another shot. I mean, not give it another shot. I'll give it a shot.
One thing I'm waiting for on Amazon, just to tie into your Fantastic Four news, who was the kid who they wanted to play Reed Richards?
John Krasinski?
He's playing Jack Reacher on a Jack Reacher show.
Really?
On Amazon. It says coming soon. Oh, you see the little box with his face, and it says coming soon. I'm waiting for that to come out. I'm interested in seeing that.
I enjoyed Jack Reacher.
Yeah, I like that. I like that franchise.
Since we're on comic book stuff, did you see that Gambit was delayed again?
It's not happening,
No.
dude. That's not going to get made.
Yeah, it was pushed from. It had a Valentine's Day release date, Valentine's
This
Day
year?
2019.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And they pushed it to summer of 2019 because the people at Fox said, well, it's going to be a comedy. Yeah. It's going to be a heist comedy.
It's going to come out on April Fool's, and it'll go, you thought this movie was good. April Fool's.
And they said, well, comedies don't work in the winter. They only work in the summer. Right? What's their most successful movie so far? Deadpool.
Yeah.
When did that come out? February. Like, they don't even know what they're doing.
Nope.
Like, I thought that was shocking. I love Gambit as a character.
Right.
But how long has this movie been delayed now? It's on like its 23rd director. Like,
I'm not even excited for it. I'm not.
I mean, if you're going to do Gambit and you're going to have, what's his face play him? The kid from 21 Jump Street? Right, that's who's supposed to be
Channing
doing
Tatum.
Like, he's better in comedies. Like, he's a comedic actor.
Yeah.
But is Gambit funny?
Not really. That's what I mean.
Like,
and I like the idea of him being in a heist movie. I think that's great. Like, he's a thief, right? That's his whole backstory. But a comical thief?
Ugh. So I'm going to segue into your video games now.
All right, cool.
I read the other day, or saw a really cool video. Samsung's coming out with a new TV that's gigantic.
How big?
146 inches.
That's a TV, huh?
TV. It's called a modular TV. It's nicknamed The Wall.
Nice. I love it.
And it changes size without using the picture quality because they have micro LEDs inside the TV.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That's pretty sweet, man. You know how much I love TVs. I'm praying every night before I go to bed that my upstairs TV dies so that I can bring the one from the basement up to the living room and get myself a 70-inch. I want a 70-inch TV.
Just wait, you can buy the wall. It's
140 inches.
You could put it on the other end of your basement and just watch it from the other side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
It's like almost a 10-foot television.
Yeah.
It's more than 10 feet.
Yep.
10 feet would be 120.
Yeah, but it's on the diagonal, right?
Yeah.
And I love Samsung TVs. I think they're the nicest pictures.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you get that in your house?
You build a house around the TV.
Around the TV?
Yeah. Well, how tall would it be? I mean, we do a little math.
You got to do a Pythagorean
The
theorem.
hypotenuse is 140 inches.
Yeah, and it's a 90-degree angle. We can actually figure it out.
Sokotoa. Oh, boy.
You have to mount it on the wall. There's no coffee table that's big enough to
coffee table.
put that on.
He's talking coffee tables.
It's not even that. Like, how big does your living room have to be?
And how far away do you have to be sitting?
That's what I mean. Where that aspect ratio doesn't look all jacked up.
You put that in the theater room. I think you put that in the theater room without having to do the actual projector.
Right.
Because I've actually been thinking, like, if my TV craps out, I think I want to do a projector.
Okay.
I want to see, like...
Is it going to be as crisp?
I don't know. But you walk into places and see really crisp looking... I assume you got to spend money on it.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with that is you got to change those bulbs. But
those bulbs are crazy expensive, too.
But, like, you can have almost an unlimited size, as big as your wall.
Yeah. Well, not really, because...
You lose resolution,
you have to move the projector back to make it larger on the wall. So however room you have in the house, that's what you're limited to. And I think you lose clarity and crispness.
I don't know.
Unless you have a glass... Like, my classroom has a projector and a glass board. And it's supposed to be, like, no glare glass, and it looks okay, but but if you look at the computer screen, it looks a lot better on the computer screen. Yeah, I would go with these high definition screens. 140 inches.
How much is that going to cost
now? Oh, it's going to cost probably $15,000.
70-inch costs how much?
A 70-inch 4K TV right now, probably about $3,500, $4,000.
How much stuff's coming in 4K though?
What?
How much?
That doesn't work like that.
How much stuff is coming in 4K?
Oh, down the pike?
Right now.
Joe's favorite line, down the pike? They should have a drinking game with how many times Joe says down the pike.
So what do they call that? Samsung The Wall? Let's see if they even have a price.
Yeah.
When I looked it up, there was no price.
It just said all the monies.
It's just a Joe Rogan money. That's all it said.
It's just a guy with 2 bags of money. Just the dollar signs on it.
It says fuck you on it. One says fuck you, one says mega dicks.
Christ.
Ooh, let me see. Show me.
It's unbelievably big.
That's what she said. I wish. She never says that. Yeah.
Mike's
they premiering it at CES this year. So it's going to come out this year. Save up your money, Steve. Sell them Funkos.
Yeah. Okay. But like you said, I could put it in my basement. Then I wouldn't be able to. I'd be blind as soon as I put it on. I'd go blind. So there's no point in that.
It's 8K.
8K.
Oh, of course.
It's 8K.
Your eyes can't even see 8K.
It says 8K. I don't even have 4K yet. It says it's 8K. That's crazy, dude.
Really cool, right?
Yeah, pretty neat.
I would love to have. I want fuck you money. Yeah.
Nice.
We're gonna get one for the studio. We really gotta get on this studio thing. We have all the cool things. We just don't have the studio.
All right, we'll try. Can we get a Twilight Zone pinball machine? That's all I want.
Okay.
Sure.
I love that game.
Why not?
And an afterburner. Can I get afterburner with the cockpit?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We'll have a case of all the toys we can never get.
Just keep mentioning it until someone buys it for us.
Sword of Omens, Terradrome.
Oh, wow.
Speaking of toys, I saw a post the other day from Joe Rogan.
Okay.
He got an adult toy, which...
Oh, my God, yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Tell him what it is.
I want it.
So do I.
I don't know where the hell we'd put it.
2 of us, we had to go Dutch and get it.
Yep. Yeah. It's a techno hunt. So it's a giant screen that you shoot your bow at.
Yeah. Oh.
And it's a projection of like an animal or whatnot.
So the same way, like, you ever seen the golf ones where you hit the ball onto the screen, it tracks the ball?
Right.
It is exactly the same thing. Me and Joe did them once.
Do they give you arrows for this?
No, you use your arrows.
You use your own arrows. You take your pointy tips off it, your field tips, and you put these like I don't know, like flattened.
like a head of a nickel.
Boxing gloves?
Yeah. Yes.
Put boxing
Like
gloves
a
on front.
nickel.
Okay.
You screw basically like a dime or nickel sized round
Yeah.
metal plate on.
Right.
And when you shoot it, the screen you're shooting it into is really, really heavy duty.
It's like a trampoline, just
and
tilted
it's-
upright.
And
Okay.
it's taut. Like when you it sounds like you're shooting it into a wall. It's super taut. And it's got like a set of trackers. As the arrow goes down, it watches the flight of the arrow, and then it scores it like a video game.
Wow.
So when you and I did it, we did like small game animals, big game animals. There was one with bugs.
Exotic animals.
Yeah. Like we were shooting at like flies and so much
You might not
fun.
want to call it an adult toy, because when you said that, and Mike's like, yeah, we got to go in Dutch, I was like, huh, what are they going to buy? This is going to be good.
No, this is an adult. It's like a video game,
Yeah.
but like
For adults.
For adults.
Yeah, okay. That's better.
You're thinking of other adult toys.
Well, I'm thinking of what everyone probably thought of when they heard you say adult toys.
I looked them up. It's $35,000 to have it put in and installed in your house.
What?
You got to have Joe Rogan money, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to get that MMA
right.
money.
I bet you he got that for free.
Yeah, maybe. Just
'Cause
to
he
promote it.
Yeah, he put it up on his Instagram.
So he got it for the studio.
Yeah, if you
Let's get it for our studio.
Yeah, tell Cross Bay Dino we'd like to install this. Have you seen his studio? The tour of his studio?
No.
So he had like a small space, what used to be like maybe like a mechanics garage or something that he put his original studio in.
Right.
Once he hit 1,000 episodes, he's like, we should go big.
Mm-hmm.
So he rented out this new space, and it has a full MMA gym, like ring,
Of course it does.
pads for rolling,
Right.
all that stuff. A gym. It has a sauna. It has a pool, like 2 pool tables for like a pool hall. The full-on archery range. So standard targets and the Techno Hunt. What the hell else did he say he had in there? Sensory deprivation tank.
What?
Yeah. He said, what's the point of having fuck you money if you never say fuck you? That's exactly what he said. And I'm like, yeah, all right, I get that.
Yeah,
I
man.
completely get that.
I'd be doing the same thing if I were him. Just different adult toy.
We don't have fuck you money. We just bag of dicks money.
So from
That's
now on,
true.
Joe, every single week, talk about Techno Hunt until we get
You got it. No problem.
just every week. Techno Hunt's amazing. Moving on.
Google search Techno Hunt.
Yeah.
What's new?
Oh, you would have so much fun shooting
Oh,
at
I'm
it.
sure I would.
Because it comes with all the different,
I
like,
wouldn't lose any of my arrows like in real life.
no. Although that's, when we did it last time, my wife blew up her bow.
How?
She never shoots. Like,
Yeah.
I bought her a bow, hoping she'd do it, like, come do the hobby with me. She doesn't.
Yeah.
So when we did it, she came to shoot it with us. She's like, I'll come with you guys. I'll break out the bow. And I was like, okay. When the,
I love when they try to do
Break
stuff.
out the bow.
Yeah.
the animals come up on the screen,
Right.
and they walk through a field or between trees, so your windows to shoot at them is limited.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like the duck and duck hunt's
in
only
real
on the
life.
screen for so
Right.
long.
The deer's like, hey, I'm here, hit
Yeah,
me.
and they move and they quarter.
do it.
Kill me now. Do it. Come on. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's good. So they quarter to you're away from you, wherever. So when you get the shot,
Yeah.
you're super excited to get it.
Yeah, you are.
So
Super excited.
I don't know. We were probably she was probably the first one up after going down to retrieve your arrows.
Yeah.
And when we came back, you only have like 10 seconds to get the shot. She really quick grabbed her bow, never knocked an arrow,
Oh.
just drew it back and released. And the thing with the bow is if you have nowhere for all that energy to go,
Right.
it goes back into the limbs
Yeah,
of the bow.
right.
And it just, you remember it just exploded.
Oh my
like
God.
bits everywhere. I just had I carried a dead body up to the guy at the bow store. I'm like, can you fix this? He's like, what happened? I was like, I have no idea. Yeah. He's like, you're lucky no one got hurt. I'm like, yeah.
You ever see a bow come apart like that?
Never seen a bow come apart like that. Oh, it's fun though. I would do that again. Like we drove to Lancaster just to do that because that's the only one I know of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I would get one.
It scores you,
Yeah.
so it's like a game too.
Yeah.
Oh, it's great. It's
Cool.
great.
Yeah. But you need a 30 or at least 20 yards of distance in your house. I don't have a 60-foot house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Oh, so I'm supposed to segue into the video games now, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
See what we did there?
we'll go from the world's largest TV to the world's smallest video game. Nintendo Switch, the
Okay.
tiny little Switch that
Right.
everyone's playing on, is now the fastest selling home video game system in the history of the
Wow.
country.
Units by units?
Units sold. It has sold 4.8 million units since it was released 10 months ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
My kids brought it into class today. They hook it up to the projector, actually, because I have an HDMI
Right.
input. And they just, I forget I don't know what they were playing. I was doing work. AKA
Doing work. He
AKA
was
drawing something. Actually, I was trying to do research for this episode, actually, with Rick and Morty. But they all had to work together. Like, you couldn't play this game alone. 3 of the kids had to play together to finish a board. They all had to go on different platforms. I was trying to listen to them as they played. One kid had to go on this yellow platform, another kid had to go on this other one in order for all the doors to open at the same time and then go through. It was pretty cool. They were all trying to work together, trying to figure it out. It seemed pretty difficult because usually these kids are pretty good with video games, especially ones that bring their video games to school to play them. Those kids are probably intense.
Well, that's the cool part with the Switch. You can just pop it out of its little cradle and take it with you.
Yeah.
But the previous record in 10 months was 4 million, and they did it another 0.8 million. Wow. So almost a full million more in
I
the
think
same
Nintendo
period.
got things right with the Switch because they had the product, they had it in stock, you were able to buy it, you know?
Strap in. Ready for this? You said they got it right? So watch me segue. Right?
Mike stretching out.
I got the list of the top 10 selling games this year.
Okay, go ahead.
So you said Nintendo Switch. How many of them do you think are Nintendo out of the 10?
Out of the 10 games?
5.
7.
5. 5 of the top 10
Always
were Nintendo.
Wow.
What are they?
Zelda.
So I'll start at the bottom. 10 was Destiny 2 for PlayStation.
Milk My Udders.
What?
Shh. I hear the crickets.
The kids brought in the Switch and they were milking udders. Like one of the games was they had the milk and udder of a cow.
This was Destiny 2 on PlayStation.
Oh, it wasn't Milk My Udders?
No.
Number 9.
You're utterly ridiculous right now, Steve.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
Zelda Breath of the Wild was 9, but for the Wii
Okay.
U. That's how popular that game was. Number 8, Pokemon Ultra Sun for Nintendo DS. Number 7, Splatoon 2 for Switch. Number 6, Call of Duty for Xbox. Number 5, Call of Duty for PlayStation.
That's funny.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's probably the best selling game of the year then, because it's divided up in 2 platforms. Number 4 is Horizon Zero Dawn for PlayStation. That I've never even heard of.
Nope.
But I'm really not up on video games. Number 3, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild on Switch.
That was your favorite?
Yeah.
Addiction? Yeah.
That one, it's crazy how many that one sold because it came bundled with...
Right.
So this was separate people purchasing because you could buy it bundled.
Yeah, yeah.
Number 2, Mario Kart Deluxe 8.
Oh, Mario Kart.
Oh, I have it. It's good.
Yeah.
It's really good.
You don't like Mario Kart?
It's just, I don't like playing, it's the same games on every system.
Yeah, Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
I was
you never
never
played
in-
Mario Kart as a kid?
I did.
Like, I remember staying up till ungodly hours.
Why do you need 13 versions of it?
8.
Oh, sorry.
This one has boards from all the other versions.
Oh, so
Okay.
you're
like
actually
the-
playing all the old games.
Well, it just has modern updates of all the old boards. So like Rainbow Road and the first one's in it. And I had that one. It's very good. And then number 1, Super Mario Odyssey from Switch.
You said you like that one too.
It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. So I think that's amazing that they went from like a company that the Wii U was a complete failure.
Right.
And they're like, we got to rush out a new system. And they got to this. They're just killing it.
Call of Duty is one of my favorite games.
I heard this one wasn't good though. Call of Duty 2, World War II rather.
I remember buying the original Call of Duty for PlayStation 1.
Yeah.
I love that
Yeah,
game.
but how many versions are they out now?
Oh, I don't know. Probably 7 or 8. Maybe it was World War 1, the first ones?
No, it's probably World War II.
I thought it was
think
World War
they
II.
went back to World War II
okay.
now.
Okay. I really enjoyed that game.
We shouldn't be talking about video games. We know so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, well, you just read a list. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. Okay, were you going to segue into your next thing? Or?
Well, sticking with games, I got a list of the top 10 selling board games. This is right in Mike's alley.
That's up your...
So I got 2 different lists.
Okay.
One from Amazon, real generic games.
Is it 2017? Okay.
I got 2019 just to spice things up. And then I got one from Cool Stuff.
Okay, Barry.
Cool Stuff is the largest seller of like designer board games.
Right.
So I'll do Cool Stuff's list. I don't care about the Amazon one. The only thing I thought was interesting at the Amazon one, Ticket to Ride
Okay.
was number 5. Settlers of Catan was number 4. And Codenames was number 1.
Oh.
Those are 3 like
Iconic.
me and Joe style board games.
Yeah.
You know, you still got your Scrabbles on there and your Clues. and Yeti in my spaghetti. I think Steve has that
my
one.
son has that one.
Yeah.
My dad loves that game.
Really?
He calls me up. He's like, are you bringing Christian over on Wednesday? I'm like, yeah. He goes, do me a favor. Bring that Yeti in my spaghetti game. I'm like, oh, okay. Don't you have... I like to play that game with him. I'm like, okay, whatever.
See, now I still want to do the episode. Like, that would be what we consider a dexterity game.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole genre of those in, like, the designer board games, which maybe have better themes on them than a snow monster falling into your spaghetti. I still want to do that episode where, like, we list those kind of games and we'll give you a counterpoint to it.
Mm-hmm.
But, all right, so the top 10 for us, Joe, Pandemic Season 1 is 10. Pandemic Season 2 is 9. So Pandemic is a game where you're traveling around the world curing a disease.
Right.
But this is... The reason it's Season 1, Season 2, they created something they call a legacy game, where basically whatever you do in one game affects the setup and outcome of the next game.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, Risk was the first legacy game they did. If I took over Joe's city, when we start the next game, it's my city.
Oh.
And if you destroyed a city, you just literally, like, crossed it off the board or took the sticker off. So you could rename stuff, and so the board and the game is changing as you play it.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Me and Joe are halfway through Pandemic Season 1.
We got to get on that.
Yeah. Each playthrough is about an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really good. It's just this zombies and stuff taking over with a plague. It's really a fun game. Number 8 is Codenames. Number 7 is Century Spice Road. I've never even played that.
I never heard of it.
Number 6 was Santorini, which I said was a great game.
There's an app version of the game.
Santorini?
Yeah.
Have you played it?
No.
Santorini's really good. I really enjoyed it. Number 5 was Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective.
Okay.
It's a murder mystery game. 4 was Charterstone, another legacy game. This one where you build the game and then play it from once the game's finished.
Okay.
Like you build the map and end up with a permanent map. 3 was Terraforming Mars. 2 was King Domino. And 1 is Scythe. Scythe is a Kickstarter game.
Right.
So none of those games anyone would know unless
Can you
you're
tell
really
me what a Kickstarter is? You say the term all the time, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
Kickstarter is if you came up with something.
You don't know what a Kickstarter is?
Maybe I just don't know what the term means.
Okay.
So you have an idea, or you have a product that you like.
Okay.
And you want
whatever. You can kickstart a business, anything
to be
you want.
made. So like, let's say you sell Funko. Funko's was your idea.
Yeah.
I have Funkos. I have a base set of 10. I want to make them.
Yeah.
So someone says, I like your idea. Here's $10.
Yeah.
You give them something in return.
Okay.
They give you $20. You give them a little bit more.
Uh-huh.
They give you, let's say, $100. They get the set of Funkos.
Okay.
So anytime someone kickstarts something, you're getting the product before it's even made.
It's crowdsourced funding.
Okay.
So instead of going to Hasbro and be like, hey, I have this thing I want to be made, they're like, no, it's not going to work. We don't want to make it for you.
So you retain the rights and all the profits.
So you could ask other people to be like, hey, I want your help to make this.
Yeah.
You get the product in return plus incentive stuff.
So like Joe kickstarted a Ninja Turtles board game last year. I'm gonna kickstart a Batman one this year. So what'll happen is they've designed this board game.
Yeah.
And now to get Batman's rights, like to go to DC or whoever it is, like and get the rights for Batman is ridiculously expensive. So you don't want to produce that or go to them unless you know that game's going to sell.
Yeah.
So what they'll do instead is like they'll offer, I don't know, maybe $100 for the game, and that game would maybe be $80 or $90 retail eventually.
Right.
But you'll get it a year or two early if you spend $100.
Right.
And then if you do like $100, and then they'll sell additional packs. So if like 10 more bucks, I would get a villain set that would have extra villains for the game, or maybe instead of being Batman, now you could be Nightwing.
But do they have the rights to Batman yet?
No, so what they'll do is they'll set a goal. Like, we need to sell 100 or 1,000 units. And once they do that, they know they have enough money now to go to DC and be like, this is a game, we've pre-sold 1,000 of them.
Right.
Can we buy the rights? Because they know how much the rights will cost. Some of these games on Kickstarter will kickstart $5 to $10 million.
Wow.
In pre-sold board games now.
Wow.
The biggest thing on Kickstarter now is board games.
Right.
By far. Nothing's even close.
Wow.
Like when I did the Ninja Turtle ones, it was the basic game.
Right. Which I think's like a $80 game now, right?
And then for $150, you got let's say it's called a platinum package.
Yeah.
And then whenever a milestone was hit, you automatically got it. They got to the point where the creator of Ninja Turtles was drawing artwork for it.
Wow.
Giving you lithographs in the game.
Right, you got like comics with yours too,
yeah,
right?
you got
That's pretty cool.
characters that were only exclusive to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Like they were hitting so many milestones. They're like, well, we got to give you another one because we went from, let's say, 50,000 pieces to 100,000 pieces. We went from 100 to
Sold.
150.
Yeah.
And they're like, people want this. We're going to keep going till we have nothing else to give
It
you.
also allows companies, especially in the board game world, to build very intricate games with lots of pieces because now there is no middleman markup.
Mm-hmm.
So if they produce it in China, that's where they're all made, for $75, they sell it to you for $100. They're still making $25. They're very happy. You get $75 worth of game.
Yeah.
If you bought a $75 game at retail, like it's going to go to a distributor, then to a retail store, it's going to get marked up 2 or 3 times.
Right.
That game would be $300.
Right.
And that's the Batman one. They're not putting in retail stores ever. And they said it'd probably cost us $350 to put it in a store.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and like we're talking about board games, but they kickstart like everything from like you have a wallet design you think's clever, or like clothing. Like they kickstart.
You don't need
everything.
patents or anything like that, or do they have them?
It's basically you make limited runs of stuff. So if you have a clever, I know a guy who kickstarted a board game cafe in Chicago.
Wow.
He had the idea, and if you gave him like $5, you got like stickers of like pop culture stuff that he drew.
Okay.
And then maybe if you donated $10, you got a T-shirt, and then 20, 30, 40, all that. Like if you bought $100, you could come in and have your first night of drinks at this place for free. And $1,000, they'd host a party for you. And like they have all these different tiers you can buy in at, and every different tier has a reward. And the reward will be pennies compared to what you spend, but you're supporting some guy who you like his idea or some young lady's product that she's going to sell. You're supporting that. It's crowd financed. A lot of the like internet shows, like Dice Tower's a board game show, they kickstart their show, and Will Wheaton's Tabletop.
Yep.
So they'll say, hey guys, we want to do a second season of the show. Do you like it? And you're like, yeah. And they're like, okay, if you kickstart us, you'll get the episodes a week sooner than everybody else and stuff like that. And they can raise millions of dollars to finance their shows.
Cool.
I got a funny story for you guys. So I saw an article the other day, and I had to double take it and read it twice because it read, IKEA wants you to pee on them. And basically what...
Are they making toilets?
I can't imagine that was IKEA's intention.
Actually, it is.
Oh, good Lord.
So, for some reason, IKEA decided...
They got stung by a jellyfish.
No. In their ads, they're going to give you a discount.
On golden showers.
No, but you're not wrong.
Okay.
They're going to give you a discount on furniture.
Yeah.
And basically what they've built into their ad is a pregnancy test. So if you're a woman who's pregnant and you pee on this ad, you get a 50% off coupon for a crib.
If you're pregnant.
If you're pregnant. So if you're not pregnant, you're not going to get the coupon.
Right. That's discriminatory.
I don't understand.
I don't understand it either. That's why I read it twice.
So
they have
So
coupons.
you get your little...
It comes in the mail, this
Who
coupon?
else buys cribs but pregnant people?
Right. This is true, Mike.
Yeah.
Right.
This
But
is
you
very
don't know
true.
what the code is for.
The code is P.
Right. But you don't know if you've won unless you're pregnant.
Won what?
A discount.
A discount.
See, that's why I don't clip coupons.
No, you win if you're pregnant, you
Right.
said.
Yeah.
You can only get the discount
Unless
if
you're pregnant.
You pee on the magazine and it says you're pregnant.
Right.
If you pee on the coupon, apparently.
What if you have someone else pee on the magazine that is pregnant?
What if you just come in with like a big baby belly?
Yeah.
They're like,
listen,
go to the bathroom first. That's not proof.
Right? But imagine going to IKEA with that piece of paper that's peed on.
This has the hint
Of fake news. This might be fake news. This could be fake news. I'm going to check into this.
Steve's going to be peeing on IKEA ads. That's such a weird...
I'm going to go to other places. Do you match coupons? Just going to walk in with Target coupons with piss all over them?
Are you peeing on your Target? I'm proving you I'm not pregnant.
I don't want a crib.
That sounds...
So disgustingly shady and fake news.
different.
Yeah. All right.
IKEA pee coupons.
All right.
Here you go, Steve.
So, peeing on this
please
ad
read
may change your life.
fakenews.com.
It's from I Fucking Love Science.
Oh, well, they're pretty reputable, actually.
There aren't many brands out there that will actively encourage you to take a we on their adverts. In fact, we're honest, we couldn't think of a single one, even toilet companies. That changed today when we discovered IKEA's latest advertising stunt. Weirdly, everyone seems to be on board with the idea. It's actually pretty neat.
Except the cashiers. No one asked them.
Let me count your money. Licks their finger.
In an advert that features in Swedish women's magazine Amelia, the furniture giant may offer you a discount if you go to the toilet on the page. We're sure you've already guessed it by now, but if you relieve yourself on it and you're pregnant, a discount code will be revealed, confirming that you are indeed pregnant. Even better, you will also get a 50% off of a crib. I don't see, like you said, like if you're just pregnant, like shouldn't that be proof enough, like to give me the discount code? Why do I have to pee on this thing?
Why do you got to carry a pissy newspaper with you to the store? I feel bad for the cashiers.
All you have to do is take
I feel bad for the person that pees on it and is like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was pregnant.
Then all you have to do is take in the pee-soaked coupon to IKEA to receive your discount. We're sure the store worker will be delighted with your news rather than appalled at having to accept a urine-drenched voucher. This is fucking weird, man.
This is why I don't get coupons.
It's so fucking weird. This is a hipster thing, right? IKEA's hipster stuff.
Hipster in Sweden? Do they even have hipsters?
Didn't they start the hipsters?
IKEA?
No,
or Swedish?
Sweden.
Swedish hipsters?
Maybe.
Hersky, bursky, pee in a bursky.
Don't they just, like, aren't...
I thought all they did was cook stuff with big oversized hands.
Isn't all their energy, like, geothermal heat? Is that the right country? Am I thinking of the right place?
I have no... Let's say
One of those Scandinavian countries uses, like, geothermal heat to do everything. They're the cleanest country in the world, which, good on them. Good on them, but they got to be hipsters over there peeing on IKEA things. Ooh, I want the crib. And I got to take a wee. I don't know what voice I'm doing right now, but this is...
Wow.
Figure you guys would enjoy that.
That's crazy.
All right.
That's got to be against so many health codes.
You want to give Tony a lead-in for wasting time, please?
Take it away, Tony. Psst, psst.
Squirt, squirt, squirt.
Now it's time for everyone's favorite segment. How are you wasting time? Or how are you pissing off your wife?
So, anybody waste any time this week?
I did waste time.
How'd you waste your time, Joe?
I waste time in
peeing on IKEA, finding all the IKEA
Joe's not
adverts
pregnant
you could find.
yet.
I peed all over the newspaper, but I got no coupons.
You just got slapped on the nose.
If peeing's good, think how good pooping on it'll be.
So how'd you waste time?
So I wasted time watching a 90s movie marathon.
All right, on what channel?
On all the movie channels.
Oh, you made your own marathon.
Yeah.
This wasn't an actual planned thing.
It was one right after the other.
Okay.
I started with Kindergarten Cop.
Oh, I love that movie. I
Yeah.
watched it too.
And then I went to Sister Act.
Okay, I haven't seen that one in years.
Then I went to Speed.
Okay. Man, oh man.
What was the other one I watched?
I'm not sure.
Speed's
4.
great.
I wrote it down.
I watched Speed like 6 months ago, or maybe 8 months ago, and I was like, this was a really solid movie.
Yeah?
You forgot
Oh.
how good it was.
My Cousin Vinny.
Oh man.
That's another
That's a
great
very good one.
That's a really good block of movies.
Yeah, it was.
man.
It was a great block. It was
8 hours of his day.
Yeah.
my whole Sunday gone.
That's more than it. Was it on network TV with commercials?
No,
more
no,
than
it
8
was
hours.
on the movie channels.
Okay.
But it was just like one ended and the other one started. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, what's on next?
I can't wait.
I can't wait.
All right, that's it.
That's
Tons of
crazy
movies.
cool. I like when you can watch some old ones.
They were all entertaining as the first time I watched them.
You probably haven't seen some of them. I haven't seen Kindergarten Cop or Sister Act in a decade.
Kindergarten Cop.
I
was
barely
great.
laughed in that movie. I was thoroughly entertained by Sister Act.
I haven't seen that in so
Speed
long.
was good.
Yeah, Speed's still good. Dennis Hopper's the bad guy now.
My Cousin Vinny's probably the favorite
He's
out of all
also the
three.
bad guy in Waterworld. That doesn't mean much. I turned that on for like 3 seconds last week. I'd never seen it.
Speed?
No, Waterworld. Yeah.
And you didn't like it?
He thought he was reading an
You didn't
Ikea
like that
advert.
everyone's filthy, but basically standing on a giant tub of water the entire
It's
time?
clean, very clean water, like pristine blue.
Like, why are
clear
you so
water.
dirty? Just take a dive.
Right? Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Waterworld. Yeah.
How'd you waste time?
Did anyone see that David Letterman started a new show on Netflix?
No.
He looks like Charles Darwin.
Yeah. So he's come out of retirement.
Late night?
It is not. It's one-off interviews. and it's called My Next Guest Needs No Introduction. There's only one out, and I think this is the first time Netflix has done this, where you're doing one at a time. Mm-hmm. And I don't even know.
You don't know what comes out next.
They list all the people it's going to be, but they don't tell you when they're coming out. There's no trailers.
So Netflix is doing the one thing that you wish that they would do.
Yeah.
Give you one at a time.
However, after I watched it, I was like, I really want to see another one. I'm like, let me watch the trailer. And the trailer doesn't tell you anything. So the first one was with President Barack Obama.
Okay.
And
is it good?
It is unbelievably good.
Really?
Yeah, it really is. The two of them come out, and like it's not a traditional like Letterman show. He comes out to a giant concert hall filled with people. He talks to them for maybe a minute or two, and then brings them out.
Okay.
They sit in 2 chairs on an all black stage, and they just chat. So like there's no background. There's just black curtains or whatever, black background, and they just chat. And the beginning of the chat's about like what's it like to be retired, because they both retired. I guess Dave's going to have a topic for each one of them. So this one was a lot about civil rights, and he intercuts an interview he did with a civil rights leader that inspired Barack Obama to get into politics, and he kind of plays the two back and forth. But what was so stark to me about it was, now I don't care what anyone thinks about Obama or his politics, to hear that man talk. He has a hour-long conversation. Right. There was no likes. There are no buts. There was no stammering. Like, he is just so eloquent and so well-spoken and so thoughtful when he talks. I was super impressed. In a week where our current president may or may not have called other countries in the world shitholes.
Right.
Like, to just to see the stark difference between the two. Like, whatever your political... Like, they are night and day different. I felt ooh, we've made a really big mistake here.
Aussie and the Palm did a show 2 weeks ago that their main topic was, who would you have for dinner, dead or alive?
Right.
Yeah, the dinner party. Who would be at your dinner party?
Who would you eat as the main course for dinner?
Oh, definitely Trump. If you had Trump or Obama, Trump's way plumper.
But,
he's gonna slow roast nice.
Nate from Aussie and the Palm said he would have Obama over in a heartbeat. He had Obama, Michael Jackson, Michael Jordan. I can't remember the other two off the top of my head, but
Michael Jordan just bet you on a bunch of things.
I was just
Yeah,
he was really impressive to listen to. He was so composed and kind of well versed in different topics.
Right.
When you looked at him, you went, he's very presidential, and he talks about elevating who you are and how you carry yourself once you're given that office.
Yeah.
Because now you're representing the entire country and the nation.
Mm-hmm.
As far as everyone else knows, you're what we've decided should be in charge. And it was just a stark contrast. It kind of made me really sad.
On a higher note, who were some of the other people that they mentioned?
Seinfeld,
Okay.
Tina Fey, George Clooney. Yeah,
Okay.
so I don't know how they'll all be. It wasn't funny. Like, it wasn't. It was a real serious conversation.
But it was a good show.
I enjoyed it so, and it could have just been the week it was framed in.
Right.
But I enjoyed it so much.
Cool.
And it just hit right. Like, if our current president is being racist and their entire conversation is about how this man was trying to break down racial barriers, it just hit right. Mm-hmm. Other stuff I watched on Netflix, Jerry Seinfeld.
Right.
Part of his deal to come over was to do the specials, and they were going to move his comedians in cars getting coffee segment. Have any of you guys ever watched that?
I've seen it.
You've seen a bunch of them?
I've seen one or two of them, yeah.
Okay, they're all on there now.
Oh, nice.
And
really entertaining show.
they're like 15, 20 minutes each. Some of them are maybe even 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. They are amazingly entertaining to watch. Some of them are really, like the Michael Richards one. Michael Richards was Kramer on Seinfeld. It's horrendously uncomfortable.
Is it?
Yeah, like he's insane.
Yeah.
And like Jerry brings up, didn't you get on stage and scream the N-word at some people? And like they kind of go through it and like the mental space he was in, and you could tell the reason he's such a good actor is because he's really not all there. Carl Reiner, Mel Brooks was an excellent one. John Oliver's one is great. Bill Burr's one is very good.
That's the one I've seen. I've seen the Bill Burr one.
They're really, really entertaining. I enjoyed them. Some of them are better than others.
Yeah.
He gets a really cool car in all of them. Like Patton Oswalt. He wants to find something nerdy, so he gets a DeLorean.
I've seen Patton Oswalt too.
Yeah. It's really, it's entertaining. Yeah. I enjoy it. I like hearing comedians talk about like their process. The Chris Rock one's amazing. Mm-hmm. talks about Popeye's chicken.
It's the shiznit.
No, he says, hey, Jerry asked him, he's like, you like fried chicken, right? He's like, of course I like fried chicken, Jerry. He's like, you ever had Popeyes? He's like, who doesn't like Popeyes? He's like, Popeye's so good they got to do that Men in Black mind eraser thing afterwards so you can eat the chicken other places. But, oh no, it's very good. It's an entertaining show. They're really quick if you've got some quick time to kill.
Yeah.
I also watched 2 comedy specials. Tom Segura, who I mentioned when we did our comedy episode a couple weeks ago. I loved his stand-up special, Mostly Stories, which I found through Netflix a couple years ago. This is his follow-up to it. It's called Disgraceful.
I heard he got ripped apart in this one.
It's not as good.
He pissed off a lot of people, huh?
He's not for appropriateness.
Right.
Like he makes racial jokes and, he makes fun of the hand. He's like, making handicaps are never funny unless they are. And then he talks about handicaps, There's definitely some funny moments. I don't think it's as good as his previous special, but it's not bad. I was entertained by it. I didn't have a big belly laugh or hard chuckle laughing. Right. Speaking of really big belly laughs, did anyone see the new Top Gear?
Yes.
No.
With the Jags.
Yes. I did. I loved it.
I don't know, and I don't know why it hit me the way it did. I don't know if I've laughed as hard as I laughed at that show in a year.
I love how they just transitioned to the new car that broke down, and they without a beat, without a single beat.
The kind of gist of the whole episode is they think Jags don't sell. What they say, they sold 200,000 in the same time frame that Mercedes, BMW, and Audi all sold 8 million.
Yeah.
They only sold 200,000 Jags.
Yeah, because the rumor has it that they break down.
Right, so they're like, well, we're going to prove that they don't. So they went out and bought old beater Jags from the early 90s, even further back.
Yeah.
And they're just going to run them through Colorado.
Yeah.
And
2 of them break completely.
destroyed. They have to bring in another Jag. So Richard's in a black one, then it breaks down.
The next frame he's in a red one.
He's like, we fixed it, and it's a red one. He's like, all I need was a little water in the radiator.
Yeah. I don't remember the sunroof being here, but okay.
I must have not noticed it.
Yeah, right.
But they do it 0 to 100 and then back down to 0, right? So how these old beaters, can you get them up to 100 and back down? They're in Telluride, Colorado, at the airport on the airstrip.
Yeah,
it's in a mountain, so it ends in a cliff.
Okay,
dude, it ends in a cliff.
The runway, and James is what? It was
he was in the convertible that I really liked, the XJ
from when we were younger,
XK, something like that. I really like that Jag, but he got
a couple of its ponies have escaped over the years.
He never got it to 100.
No,
he never got it to 100. By the time he got to the end of the runway, he never got to 100.
So they just show it going off the cliff.
Yeah,
I don't know. I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't know why it hit me the way it did.
Yeah,
but I could not catch my breath.
Yeah,
he did such a good job of acting it. He was like 40, and he leans into the steering wheel.
Yeah.
And then they show Richard watching him.
Yeah.
And he just crossed his legs and crossed his feet at the ankles and just such a nonchalant look. It was this subtle physical comedy that hit me. I don't know what it was. I was just tired, but I could not catch my breath laughing at it. Monica came out of bed and was like, "What are you watching?" And I couldn't even tell her. I like silly humor, I guess, slapsticky people getting hurt stuff. But my God, I laughed. I haven't laughed that hard in years at anything. And I know it's not as funny as I don't know why. It just spoke to me, and I laughed and laughed and laughed. It's a really good episode. You'll like it.
Okay. Yeah, it was a good episode.
This was a really good one.
Very good.
Yeah.
I didn't waste much time this week. I found a new YouTube channel that I'm obsessed with.
No more nasal cleanses?
Oh, no, that's still going on.
Okay.
Oh, that's still going on.
He's upgraded now. It's a garden hose and a wet dry vac. It's way cheaper.
I found a YouTube channel that I can't get enough of, and it's a DC artist named Ethan Van Sciver. We missed our opportunity to talk to this man at the New Jersey Comic Expo. He was there. He's very big in the industry. He's super popular. He's known for his Hal Jordan Green Lantern. He co-founded The Darkest Night and the whole spectrum of colors.
Oh, cool.
So him and Jeff Johns created that whole idea.
Right.
And he drew all the comics for it. His Hal Jordan is the best looking Hal Jordan. He's my favorite. And I was too starstruck to ask him for an interview. I thought he'd be like too. I thought he'd be too big to do it. Like, you know, I went around and we talked to a lot of independent people, but he's really popular. I thought he'd say no. So I asked Larry Hama. Larry Hama said no. I asked Greg Land, who is a Marvel artist. He said no. So I thought, and I was like, I'm not going to ask Ethan because he's probably, you know, too busy for it or whatever. But his channel is amazing. He does a whole bunch of different. It's not just drawing. It's not like Todd Knock where it's just drawing. He's very, very opinionated, this guy, and he's not afraid at all to give you his opinion. And he goes like he has like ongoing fights with Dan Slott on Twitter about like the content of the Spider-Man books and how he thinks Dan Slott's just forcing his opinion on people, and it shouldn't be about that. It should just be about having fun and writing a comic that is...
We know a person that could help you out.
You know? So he's very opinionated, but he's an amazing artist as well. So every like 3 or 4 things that he posts are drawings, how-to drawing, things like that. But some of them are just mashups. Like he loves the whole... Now when I say he loves, it's very sarcastic. He loves the whole gender movement. So what he did was, he's like, you know, I don't really think it's fair that there are certain characters out there that are just catering to women, and it's not fair to boys, and boys should have dreams and aspirations, and he's real dry about it, and you know where he's going with it.
Right.
And he'll take She-Ra and make it into He-Ra, and he takes My Little Pony.
That's He-Man.
Right, yeah, well, kind of. He took My Little Pony and made it into I forget what it was called, but he made it like some big black stallion with a tattoo of a skull on his ass, you know, and it was just very funny. I mean, you might, if you're a hipster or if you're like super liberal,
you're gonna hate it.
You're gonna hate this guy.
I can't imagine if you're a super liberal hipster, you've made it 65 episodes with us.
Right, that's true, but it's super entertaining. He draws amazing. If you can look past all that stuff, and when he's drawing, he's literally all about the drawing,
right.
And he's really helpful, and he doesn't talk politics, but he's very open about, like, some of his videos are also open discussions with the people that have conflicts with him. So he'll go on, make a video of an interview that he does with another YouTuber that has, you know, really, you know, left-wing kind of thoughts, and they have open discussions, and they're good discussions. They're not just two people going at each other. They actually have really good discussions. So you can look at that. Check that out. It's Ethan Van Sciver on YouTube. Check him out. I also started Black Mirror season 4. I don't know if you guys are into Black Mirror at all.
I've only watched the first episode 1, season 1.
If you like The Twilight Zone, then you will love Black Mirror. It's a modern-day take on The Twilight Zone. Every show is a different show. It has nothing to do, like, there's no continuity at all. They have no tie-ins to one another. The actors are different in every episode.
It's an anthology show, right?
Yeah. It's just like the old Twilight Zones, where every single episode had different actors and different storylines. The only thing that is a running theme with Black Mirror is everything is tied to technology at some point. Because if you look at your TV when it's off, it looks like a black mirror. And that's why they came up with the name.
Okay.
So, you know, a screen that's turned off is a black mirror. So everything revolves around some type of technology. It's either a cell phone technology or a tracking device that they implant in your brain in the future. One episode, the first episode of the season, it's actually a spoof
of
on
Star Trek.
Right, yep. And it's really, really good. This one guy, he made a video game. He writes the code for this video game. And he wrote his own code for his own version of his video game, where and then he built a machine that if he takes people's DNA, it can write them into the game.
Huh.
And it's like a virtual immersive world where he takes this little like pod and he puts it on his temple, and like you fall asleep and you go into the game.
It's kind of like Ready Player One.
I guess. And what he does is he steals the DNA from all of the people in his office, like he gets their cups or their half-eaten sandwich or something like that, and they're all mean to him because he's a nerd and he writes all the code and stuff. So he put himself into his own game, and the skin of the game is Star Trek, but they don't call it Star Trek. They call it Space Heroes or Space Warriors or something like that. But he's Kirk, and he's a jerk to everybody because they're jerks to him in real life. And the whole episode is them trying to get out of the program, trying to figure out a way to get out of the program.
Okay.
I've heard that episode is so well received.
Yeah.
There's talk that spinning it off into an actual show.
Really?
That concept kind of resonated so well with people.
Yeah.
They're like, this could be a pilot.
No, it was brilliant.
Yeah.
It was brilliant. The way it was done was brilliant. And I'm 4 episodes in, and it's just so good, man. It's good twists. They're hour long. It's an hour long show.
Right.
They could probably be 45-minute shows, but they're really super interesting. And you think there's one episode where this girl has a device implanted in her temple, and this device links up to an iPad, and the mom has the iPad, and she can see out of the eyes of the little girl. So what the little girl sees, shows up on the iPad. And if the little girl sees something that's like horrific or something that is shouldn't be seen by a little girl, the mom can filter it and it'll blur out the image. So the girl will look at it, but the girl will only see a blurry image. So say the girl turns on a channel and there's a sex scene or something on HBO or something. The mom can choose to filter that by hitting a button on the iPad or whatever tablet she has, and it'll filter it, and it'll always filter it every time she looks at it.
Right.
The weird thing about this episode was when the girl got older, and she continued to filter her as she got older, and the girl's reaction to her mom filtering her as a 20-year-old.
Right.
You know what I mean? And interfering in her life in a very intrusive way because of this technology. I really like this show.
Huh.
It's a modern day Twilight Zone, so I really enjoy it. So check that out. It's Black Mirror. It's on Netflix. And one last thing, I bought tickets to a concert that I cannot wait to go to in June. It's called the Jukebox Hero Tour. And if anybody knows the song Jukebox Hero from Foreigner, they're headlining. And Whitesnake is one of the openers. And Jason Bonham, who's John Bonham's son. John Bonham was the drummer for Led Zeppelin. Mm-hmm. He has like a Led Zeppelin tribute band.
Right.
And he's going to be the third act. So I cannot wait for that. It's PNC Bank Arts Center. I think it's June 30th. Can't wait. I always wanted to see Whitesnake live in concert. Now I get to. 80s rock, man. 80s hair metal. It's awesome. Love 80s hair metal. All right, so that is going to lead us into our main topic, which is brought to you by bagadicks.com. When you need to send someone a bag of dicks, look no further than the original bag of dicks, the ultimate gag gift. Enter promo code DINNERPOD at checkout or go to bagadicks.com/dinnerpod to receive 10% off your order. You can buy, there are 3 items. You can buy the regular bag of dicks. You can buy the singing bag of dicks, which comes in a nice jewelry box. It looks like a jewelry box to trick your recipient into thinking they're getting some nice fancy jewelry. And when they open the box, it sings them a little dick jingle. And you can also buy them the evil bag of dicks, which is a singing bag of dicks that does not stop singing for 2 straight hours no matter what you do to the box.
Sounds fantastic.
So go to bagadicks.com to get your 10% discount by putting in promo code DINNERPOD or by going to bagadicks.com/dinnerpod and get your 10% off. So our main topic today was a request from our number 1 biggest fan, Librarian Kate, and it's our top 5 favorite Rick and Morty episodes. So, who wants to go first?
Ooh.
What I found was that most of my favorite episodes were in season 1. I don't know if you guys found that to be the same thing, but when Mike had listed all of the shows on our script, and those shows had descriptions on them, I found myself writing down a lot more season 1 episodes than I did anything else. You want me to start?
Sure.
All right. So my numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 are all from season 1.
Okay.
And I have a tie for number 5, and they are both from season 2. So none of my episodes are from season 3. Librarian Kate.
Really?
Yeah.
There's some good ones in 3.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. Yeah. I'm not saying there aren't some good ones. To be honest, there isn't an episode I dislike. But let's see. The Ricks Must Be Crazy, which is the one where he has to go inside his own car battery.
Yes.
Oh, that's a really good one.
To make the universe that he created, the microverse that he created. He uses them as slaves to make the energy of his car battery, and then they figure out how to do it, and they create their own universe with their own slaves, and he has to go convince them that they shouldn't do that. And in the meantime, Summer is sitting in the car who has to defend her. The car is set to defend Summer.
Yep.
Protect Summer. And it's killing people that come up to the window.
Must protect Summer.
Yeah, must protect Summer. It has that whole thing with the cop.
That's the most fucked up thing they've done.
Yeah, because the car, when the first guy comes up to the car and knocks on the window, it uses a laser to slice him into cubes.
Yeah.
And he gets sliced into cubes. And then the cop comes, and Summers told it no more physical damage. So the car was
No
like,
more killing.
Yeah, no more killing. So the car says, "Can I do psychological damage?" And she goes, "Yeah, I guess, fine." So this cop apparently lost his son in some like tragic accident,
It
like drowned in the pool.
scans him and immediately figures out like what his weakness
Yeah,
is.
right. And it gives him a hologram of his.
No,
of his,
a real son.
was it a real?
Yeah, it creates him and then kills him.
Right, and he kills him right in front of the cop, and
And it kind of doesn't it say like I can give great joy or create great pain,
something like that.
like just this real nebulous threat.
Yeah. So that episode, which is season 2, episode 6, was tied with Total Recall, which was the one where they're having the parasites create memories.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
then
yeah. In the house, right?
In the house. And I like this episode a lot because you get the introduction of all the crazy characters that just show up in that one episode. You get
Yeah.
Reverse Giraffe,
Yep.
which I really like. You get Aberdolf Linkler,
Oh yeah, yeah.
who saves the day in the end. You get Mr. Poopy Butthole in that one.
Do you know there's a fan theory that he doesn't exist?
Mr. Poopy Butthole doesn't exist.
That
Yeah.
every time you've seen him, he's just an hallucination of Rick's.
Oh.
Okay. Well, Beth shot him.
Yeah, but it's
That was
just that
so
it's
funny.
all hallucinate. Like they've tied it all together.
He wants
There's
you to
YouTube
know that
videos.
he wants you to know that he's sorry you didn't have any bad memories of him when he's just guilting Beth at the end. So that's my tie for number 5.
That's a really good one.
I like those two.
You or me?
Good, Joe.
I'm going to go with a Ricksy business.
Ricksy, that's my number 4.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my number 4.
I love the...
That's the one with the house party, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm squanching here. That's with Squanchy.
Yeah,
I love
that's a good one.
Squanchy.
And that's also the first interdimensional cable.
Is that one interdimensional cable?
I believe so.
No, that's Ricksy Minutes.
That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Ricksy
Oh,
Minutes.
okay.
Yep.
So that's your number 5?
That's my number 5.
Interdimensional cable's your number 5.
Yeah.
That's my number...
Oh, well.
Yeah, okay. It might be on my list. Who knows?
All right, my number 5 is Meek Seize and Destroy.
Yes.
Okay.
With the whole idea that Rick has created like these, I don't even know how you describe them, like these aliens that are only there to help you, and that's
Yeah.
all they want to do, and they can solve any problem you have except teach Jerry how to play golf.
Right. Are you squaring your shoulders, Jerry?
And like they're so desperate to help him that they keep multiplying because more of them will help solve the problem.
Right.
And I love that they kill themselves because they can't help him.
Right.
It's just such a fucked up idea that he's such a broken person that these things that can do anything.
Well, Rick says don't make it overly complicated.
Yeah.
Make it a simple task,
Yeah.
like open this jar, because that's what initially got him to
Yeah.
use the Meeseeks box.
Right.
Was he had needed help opening a jar. So the Meeseeks guy says, can you help me open the jar? He goes, can do, and opens it, and then he
And they're so
stops
nice
existing.
and so pleasant.
Yeah. Just try to relax, Jerry. That's a paradox. Did you ever try to relax? Oh, that is such a great episode.
Yeah, it's really good. I like that one.
That's on my list.
That's
All right.
also on my list.
What's your number 4?
My number 4 was Ricksy Business, which was the house party
That's a good one.
with Squanchy.
Squanchy.
Hey Rick, any good place to squanch around here? And he goes in the fucking garage in the closet, and he's just whacking off in the closet. And what's his face catches him? Morty catches him with Jessica. He brings
Yes.
Jessica into the garage to look at his grandfather's science stuff. And he opens up the closet, and hey, I'm squanching here. Oh, it's amazing. What an amazing episode. You also see the gear guy in that one, I think. The guy who's made of gears. And he tells you about the gear wars.
Oh, yeah.
You got Bird Person in that one. You finally see Bird
Yep.
Person. Bird Person hooks up with, I forget her name. I want to say Darla. I want to say he hooks up with one of the humans. I forget
Probably.
her name. It's one of Summer's like best friends.
Doesn't he marry her eventually?
He ends up marrying
Yeah.
her, but she ends up being like a secret spy or something like that. That's when you find out wubba lubba dub dub means.
Oh, yeah. It means great
Yep.
pain or whatever.
Means I'm in great pain.
Help
I want
me, I'm in great pain, yeah.
Oh, it's a great episode. That's my number 4.
Joe?
My number 4 is going to be the Richurian Candidate.
That's season 3, right?
Yeah. That's the
towards
one.
the end, right?
Yeah, that's the one where he's going up against the president.
Oh, yeah.
That
one is
president
good.
is the guy who does the voice for the president is also Reverse Giraffe.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
There's going to be casualties in the Brazilians.
And the Brazilians. I love that one. Because they're in Brazil.
Yeah.
I love it.
I just like how much smarter he is than everyone else in that one, and he kind of first time he really like flexes that muscle.
Yeah.
Like he's like, "Don't touch me," and the guy touches him and just dies.
Yeah. I told you not to touch me.
Yeah. Just instantly dies.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great like when they're running through the White House, there's a lot of great what's the word I'm looking for? Like Easter eggs in that one.
Yes.
Okay. Like they walk past them recreating the moon landing and the recreating crossing the Delaware.
Right.
Yeah, there's some great ones. Tupac's body's buried in the White House. Yeah, there's some really good ones in that. My number 4, right, is Morty's Mind Blowers.
Oh yes, we just watched.
We watched that right before we left for the
that
diner.
one because that one does such a good job of like building their universe.
Yeah.
And you just see like all these crazy adventures they've never been on. The one that got me is so what happens is
I know what you're gonna say. I think
Morty has a real bad adventure and he asks Rick to erase it.
The truth tortoise.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Don't look the tortoise in the eyes.
I've been staring at him the whole time, Rick. I know everything.
So he needs to get that erased.
Right.
And Rick takes it real like nonchalantly because apparently he's done this thousands of times to Morty.
Right.
And then Morty finds out this goes on and they start like reliving their memories. And there's one where he's crying, burying Santa Claus.
Rick's burying Santa Claus in like the desert and Morty's just crying and you don't know why it happened.
And they never address it.
No.
It's just it's just him going through horrific thing after horrific thing.
Well, what was the one that we saw we cracked up at?
I don't remember.
Ultimate level.
True level.
True level.
True level. And he's like having an orgasm because he's in true level and Rick takes him out and he's
right.
losing his mind.
Yeah, because Morty is trying to level a shelf, so kind of like his tongue out, and he's with a level. And he's like, "Good job." And Rick's like, "You want to see real level?" And he uses science to make like a perfectly level platform. And Morty stands on it, and it feels so good. He can never get that feeling back. And all he wants to do is stand on it.
The world's all wrong.
True level.
And he has to erase his mind, and it's great. And the end of that episode where this has happened so many times that they have like these protocols for how to handle it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Summer comes out, she goes, "Are you doing Morty's Mind Blowers again?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a really good episode.
Is this level 3? What's
man.
level 3? Oh, we're level 4.
Yeah.
It's essentially a clip show like
Interdimensional Cable.
Interdimensional Cable.
Yeah.
I wasn't the hugest fan of Interdimensional Cable.
Oh.
I know.
All right,
People love it.
It's my number 3.
All right, so
it's my number 3.
yeah.
Interdimensional Cable's my number 3. I love all the ones that they actually do. All the commercials
I'm
and shows.
Eyes Larry.
I got Ants in My Eyes Johnson.
Johnson.
You'll never get that right. I got Ants in My Eyes Johnson, and he's like a PC Richards salesman, and he's trying to sell like refrigerators.
Look at this toaster. And he's pointing at an oven.
He's pointing at an oven.
I can't tell. I got ants in my eyes.
I hope the price isn't too low, and people are just stealing it. People are just coming into the store and stealing the stuff. And then at the end, he's like, "Did I also tell you I can't feel any pain?" And he's on fire. He catches fire from the stove. That was one of them. Then you got Fake Doors.
Yeah, that Fake Doors is the one I like
Fake
in
Doors
that
is
episode.
really good. You got oh man, there were so many good ones. I like the ones where they're flipping through and they don't stop on the channel. There's one where they don't stop on the channel, but it's a Game of Thrones scene where Tyrion, who's the midget, is really tall, and everyone else is a midget, and they just keep going over it. Like to the next one, they don't even address it.
That's the house hunters in that one, right? The house runs away, the guy shoots and got him.
It's so good, so funny. I love Interdimensional Cable. That was Mr. No one's gonna eat my strawberry smiggles. I love my strawberry smiggles, and they're all in my belly. And it's a little leprechaun eating these little marshmallow things. And the kids come over and they cut them open, and they start eating the cereal out of his intestines. And he's like, "Why would you want to eat those? They're covered in my entrails." Oh, it's so funny. He goes, "Wow, man, that was deep. What about the corn cops?" Instead of the corn cobs, it was everyone in the on that planet was a corn cob.
Yes.
Oh, so stupid and so funny.
That was your number 3?
That was my number 3.
All right. My number 3, you're going to like this one, Steve.
Okay.
Look Who's Purging Now.
It's a good episode, man.
The more I didn't like that one the first time I watched it, and then the more I watched it, the more I liked it. And there was just one line, because the whole time he's telling Morty, "Don't kill people."
Right.
And then at the end, he puts that like cyborg suit on, and he starts just murdering everybody because they're in the thing. And he goes, "You know, Rick, purge, don't purge. You're really sending me mixed messages." And that was like your moment when the James Drew drove off the cliff. for some reason that line just hit me so funny, and I was just belly laughing at that line.
But I like the premise of the show starts off with this race,
right?
And for once a year they have a purge, and at the end of the show they kind of like get rid of the people who are the upper like 1%, and then the rest of the people that have survived, like, so how are we gonna like solve wars and turmoil and conflict? Well, what if we have a day where we just, go out and do whatever the hell we want? And like, that's a great idea. And you just...
And it was the nicest little town ever.
Yeah.
But before sundown, once sundown came around, they were like, they completely different. It was just like Purge the movie.
Yeah, and Rick goes to Morty like, let's get out of here. This is going down a path that we know where it's already.
He's like,
ends.
don't you want to see this? Just watch it. And they're hovering over it, and like, just watch. When are we gonna see a Purge before, Morty? Oh, it's so good, so good.
My number 3 is Rick Potion number 9.
Yes.
Damn it.
That's you could repeat it.
Okay.
That's the one where Morty wants a love potion.
Yes.
From Rick to make a girl he's interested in fall in love with him.
Jessica.
And it just spirals out of control.
She's got the flu.
As he gives him the potion and he leaves with the garage, he goes, just make sure no one has the flu. But he doesn't hear him.
Yeah.
And the school dance was called the flu dance. Do you remember that? It was flu awareness dance. and he uses the potion on her, and the flu mutates the potion. And they become like monsters.
But that was the first time where you see how nonchalant Rick is about everything. He's like, well, we're just going to go to a new world.
Right.
And whole new family.
Well, no, they tried fixing the potion.
They couldn't. Yeah.
He's like 10% human, 4% aloe vera, and 35% velociraptor. Should have it done, Morty. This should do it. They should fix everything. And then they turn into Cronenbergs.
Yeah. Well, we really Cronenberg this one up.
Really Cronenberg the whole world. So that's where they go to a new dimension where they die.
And they bury themselves in the yard.
Yeah. The least you can do is pick yourself up and drag yourself over to the grave, Morty.
And they call back to that in later episodes. Summer brings them outside and she's like, it's in this grave, I'm in this grave.
Yeah. You don't have it that bad. I had to bury myself in the backyard.
Yeah. And that idea of there's just new worlds they can go to, because they called back to that later on.
With the squirrels?
Yeah.
We can never come back here.
I told you we could only do this 2 or 3 times, Morty.
We have 5 more minutes till they come through.
You fucked with the squirrels.
Yeah, they screw the world so bad they have to leave again because the squirrels realize the squirrels are secretly in charge.
Yeah.
And Morty figures it out.
Morty hears them talking.
Yeah.
Because Rick gave him some special helmet or something.
Yeah.
He's looking at us like he knows what we're talking about.
I just love that idea, that.
We got a 420 on a possible Doolittle. Hey, little boy, we'll give you candy if you listen to us. Oh, so good.
Yeah, but
so
Rick Potion number 9 is my number 3.
Man, we really Cronenberg that up. That was my number 2.
That was your number 2?
That was my number 2. But I'll go Raising Gazorpazorp.
Yo, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
That was also a good one, where they go to an interdimensional pawn
Gets a
shop.
sex bot pregnant.
He goes well, it wasn't a sex bot. It was.
That's what he thought it was.
He thought it was a sex bot because they go to a pawn shop.
Yeah.
To
PAWN
to get Rick some parts or something like that for his ship, and Morty's obsessed with this what he thinks is a sex robot. And Rick buys it for him, and he brings it home, and all Morty does is fuck this thing in his bedroom.
Yeah, he doesn't come down to breakfast.
He comes down, he grabs one pancake and goes right back up to doing this thing. Ends up, it was like an incubating,
some kind of chamber to make their babies.
Right, to make these babies on this other planet. And he inseminates it and gets it pregnant, and it gives birth to a Gazorpazorp.
Yeah.
Which is the most violent thing in the universe.
Yeah.
And he has to raise this thing. He's fighting with his parents about his parenting, the way he parents. Oh, it's so good. It's so funny. And then there's a world where there's only women.
Yeah.
Right? They're the ones who raise the Gazorpazorps. Or something like that.
No. Yes. Yeah, what is it? They don't want to mate with them, right?
Right.
They're the males in the species. They don't want to mate with them.
Yeah.
So that's why they send them off.
And their big compliment to each other. Oh, I like that top. All the girls say that to each other as a sign of respect. Oh, I like your top. So great. I like that one. That's a good one. That was one of my honorable mentions.
My number 2 is going to be Anatomy Park.
It's really good.
It is really good, but it didn't make my list.
No,
really?
That would be my 6.
Yeah.
It's so good.
You got hepatitis A and hepatitis C fighting each other.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Pancreas, very underestimated pride.
The scene where he's making out with the girl, and Rick is still connected, and he yells to Morty, hey, you gotta get to the nipples real quick because I'm hoping to do that right now. I just start laughing out loud whenever I hear that.
What's the dream sequence one with Scary Terry? That's a really good one too.
Oh,
I don't know the
I don't
name
even
of
remember what one that's in.
I don't know.
That's a good one though.
Oh, that's the one where they're going in a dream, inside a dream. It's
Yeah.
in the Inception, probably Rickception, if I had to guess.
Yeah.
That one is good because the side characters in that one, Joe, are great. In the Anatomy Park one, yeah.
Okay.
Because they're like mockings of the Jurassic Park
Yes.
characters.
Yeah.
Oh, they're so good.
What's your number one?
No, number two.
Oh, your
My number two is Pickle Rick.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Pickle Rick was great.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's Pickle Wick. It's John Wick.
It's John Wick, yeah.
It's John Wick, but he's a pickle. And the fact that he turns himself into a pickle to get out
Just
of...
to get out of going to therapy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like the fact that, like, the therapist sees all their horseshit and calls them all out on it at the
Yes.
end. All of it.
I think I actually recorded that. Let's see.
Here's something that's never happened before. I'm a pickle. I'm Pickle Rick.
I recorded that to make it like a ringtone. I recorded it off TV to make it a ringtone.
That's an amazing episode.
Yeah.
It's so, like, outside their normal because it's an action movie, that episode. It's great. It's really fun. Super violent.
My number one was Mr. Meeseeks.
Okay.
Mine was the Meeseeks box. I love that episode so much.
My number one's going to be the Rick Shank Redemption.
Which one was this one?
That was with, I believe that's the one where he's accused of killing the other Ricks.
Oh, they bring him to the Citadel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first time you go to see the Citadel Ricks.
Right. Is that when you see Doofus Rick?
Yes.
I love Doofus Rick. He's the only one that gets along with Jerry. Really? Wow, that sounds amazing, Jerry. You must be so smart. And they just hang out the whole time. Oh, that's a funny one.
Any honorable mentions for you guys?
All of them.
Well, I'll do my number one. My number one is the lawnmower dog.
Oh, Snowball?
I thought you were going to pick that one.
I like that one a lot. I do like that one a lot.
The line that gets me is, where are my testicles, Summer?
Yeah, where are my testicles, Summer?
And I love that Rick makes that all happen just because he doesn't want to hear of Jerry. He's like, you can't potty train your dog here. And he makes a helmet to make the dog smarter.
Yeah.
And it completely backfires. That one that Joe just mentioned, though, the Rick Shank Redemption, where he just, like, we're in the Shoney's the whole time. And oh my God. And that's where they introduced the Szechuan sauce.
Yes.
That was a really good one.
And just, that was, again, watching Rick be so much smarter than everyone else.
Yeah.
And just dismantles everybody. Rick Team 6s and that.
Yes.
SEAL Team Rick, right? That's what it was?
Yeah.
Oh, there's so few bad ones.
No.
I don't really know a bad one. I can't say there's one that I wouldn't watch. If they're on TV,
I mean, there's
I'll
some
watch
that you're
it.
like, it was entertaining, but
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back and rewatch it.
Right. What was the Vindicators? Oh, that was the one with the action hero.
The action hero.
And at the end, they think that he's gonna reveal that he loves Morty, but it wasn't.
It was the weird
Noob
kid.
Noob. I love you, Noob Noob. Oh, it was so good. But yeah. So Kate, thanks for letting us do this. We appreciate that. We really enjoyed this
Watch
show.
Rick and Morty.
Tom Van Zandt has still not seen it yet.
Just go watch it. Like,
I know.
you can get through them all in a day.
Autoerotic assimilation one is a funny one where he goes and meets the being that's all about just having a party and
Unity?
Yes.
Oh,
the
yeah,
word
yeah.
Unity?
He meets, like, the Borg, the collective.
And he breaks them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the worst thing in her life.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He breaks the whole society down. But yeah, cool. You want to give, I think it's time for Comic Book Corner. You want to give Tony a little shout out or a little lead in?
Take it away, Tony. Pew pew.
Comic Book Corner, brought to you by Comic Book Jones, located at 2220 Forest Avenue in Staten Island, and Royal Collectibles at 9601 Metropolitan Avenue in Queens, New York. Visit these fine establishments for all of your comic book needs.
All right, Joe. You read any comics this week?
I did. I read 2.
What'd you read?
Old Man Hawkeye.
I read that as well. Thank you for lending that to
You're
me.
welcome.
I really enjoyed it. How'd you like it?
I liked it. It was a interesting story on a new take on an old storyline, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Takes place during the Old Man Logan original run.
Is that considered the Wastelands? No. Is it?
Yeah.
I want to say it is, right?
And it's just basically Hawkeye, like, he's trying to right a couple wrongs, trying to still be a hero in a world full of villains.
Yeah, you don't know. He he wants to do one particular thing, and he wants Logan's help.
Right.
They don't tell you what that one thing is. He it's vengeful though.
Yeah.
He's trying to get revenge on somebody.
Well, you kind of get like the gist that he's trying to, make amends for the Avengers dying, the X-Men, all these heroes, but...
And in the meantime, he's going blind.
Yeah.
Now, if you read the new run of Old Man Logan, he's blind. So he does lose his sight eventually.
And I believe he's blind in Old Man Logan.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like a prequel to that.
Sure. Yeah, it was interesting. And
Very
at the
good.
end, there was a... Spoiler alert, there was a reveal of Bullseye.
Right.
Who's the sheriff, or he kind of controls the police force in this town.
Especially like this, because like in the Old Man Logan original run, like all the villains had parts of the United States.
Right.
The Red Skull was the president. He lived in the White House.
Right.
His White House had all of the heroes' gadgets, from Captain America's shield to Spider-Man's web shooters to like a skull from someone. It was just great. I like seeing the new take of, what hero went rogue, what villain, became prominent.
Yeah. What else did you read?
You lent me that Batman book.
Yeah, we both read Batman Creature of the Night.
Right.
Thick book. It's I don't know if it's a 6 or an 8 run issue or a 6 issue run, but it's a really nice...
It was book 1.
It was book 1. Very different take. It wasn't a Batman story.
No.
It was a kid who has this obsession with Batman. He lives in Massachusetts. His name is Bruce Wainwright. And he thinks like that was meant to be. That his name is Bruce Wainwright.
He's got an Uncle Alfred.
His uncle is named Al Fredericks.
Yeah.
But he calls him Alfred. The cop that he interacts with is named Gordon Hoover. So there's lots of like little tie-ins to Batman in his life.
Get killed.
Before his parents get killed, he has a very good relationship with them. He's obsessed with the comics of Batman. He's always playing Batman or doing something like that. He's obsessed with them. Then his parents get murdered in a robbery in his house, and he gets sent off to like boarding school.
He gets shot.
He gets shot by the robbers as well, but they resuscitate him. He ends up going to boarding school, and Alfred he's upset that Alfred doesn't want to take him in.
Right.
And it's suggested that his uncle Al is gay. I think that was the whole thing, like his lifestyle. Right. Like the social workers, like this takes place in like the 70s. And he said that the social workers don't think that that's a good environment for him. I think that they're leaning that he's a homosexual. And he's breaking down. I think mentally he's breaking down. And he starts to get visions of this bat-like creature, and you don't know if it's real or not, which I'm thinking it's, but like the thing is, things are happening, and this creature is capturing criminals,
right,
and hurting criminals. So I don't know if it's the boy doing it, or if he's imagining the whole thing. But there's this bat-like creature that talks to him like in his dreams, even sometimes now when he's awake, and it caught his parents' killer for him like a year or 2 or 3 after the actual murder.
Yeah.
And you don't know if it's the kid doing it, or if there's an actual being, or if it's all in his head. Like this whole thing is just a story in his head. Book 2 came out. I didn't get a chance to read it yet, but I'm definitely going to. The artwork was interesting, but it has like Batman's not a real thing. Batman's a comic book character in this. So it's cool to see this kind of take on it. It's a very interesting take on it. I also read Planet of the Apes Green Lanterns, which was it came out 6 issues a while back, before Christmas.
Right.
I think the last issue came out, and it was sitting on my shelf the whole time. I stopped reading those like not one shots, but those little mini issues.
Right.
Until they all came out. I wanted to wait until they all came out. I did that with Batman and the Shadow, and that was a pretty cool book. Scott Snyder wrote that book. It was pretty cool. I don't know anything about the background of Shadow, so I was a little lost. But this Planet of the Apes book is kind of weird. One of the Guardians created a ring that can harness every emotion. So whoever wears that ring, if they want to feel fear, they can become a yellow lantern. If they want to use their willpower, they automatically become a green lantern. They want to use their hope, they become a blue lantern. Just by wearing the ring, it controls all the emotional spectrum. And the Guardians thought that this wasn't a good idea, so they banished it to an alternate universe, an alternate Earth, where the men died off and apes took over the planet, aka Planet of the Apes, hoping that they would never find it. Well, guess who found where the ring is? Sinestro.
Of course.
And he goes after the ring, and Hal Jordan follows him. And one of the who's the ape? The nice ape Zaius. I want to say Dr. Zaius.
Dr. Zaius.
No, there's one other one. I forget. There's a nicer one. There's one that I forget. But he finds the ring, and he actually can control it. He's using it to become different lanterns and stuff. And that's kind of where the book ends. So, like, he finds the ring, and you can see him kind of use it, and he's killing people with it. He becomes a red lantern and kills people, like, other, apes and stuff like that.
Right.
So you don't know where it's going. But the whole point is that the lanterns have to find Hal on the planet of the apes and get this ring back and destroy it, I think.
Huh.
So
Well,
it's pretty
speaking
interesting.
of Green Lanterns, I saw a preview for, I guess, the next issue of Green Lantern, Hal Jordan
Yeah.
or whatever. It's the 4 Green Lanterns: John Stewart, Guy Gardner, Hal Jordan, Kyle Rayner. And they're all like, they got this big mission or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And Hal Jordan sits there and he goes, we're kind of like Ric Flair's 4 Horsemen.
Yes.
But which one of us is Ric Flair?
And they all fight about it.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm going to buy that comic book now just for that.
Did you get it?
No, I
It
didn't
came out
buy
last
it.
week.
I'm gonna pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. All right, so we have another interview for you.
Okay.
This week, we're going to give you an interview from Kay Victoria, who's a cosplayer that I was lucky enough to talk to at the New Jersey Comic Con. She was one of the few that continued to follow us on Twitter and Instagram, even after the con, and even after we didn't play your interview for a couple months.
Right.
So we want to thank Kay for giving us the time, and hope you enjoy the interview. Hey everybody, I am with Kay Victoria at New Jersey Comic Con. How you doing, Kay?
I'm good.
I'm loving the Harley Quinn cosplay right now.
Thank you.
How long did something like this take you to make?
This one took me about a month to do.
Okay. How long you been cosplaying?
I've been cosplaying for over 5 years now.
Okay, over 5 years. So what got you into cosplaying?
I saw everybody else wearing costume at New York Comic Con, and I just kind of got into it, and I learned how to sew myself and make props, and that's just how I got all jumbled into this cosplay world.
So before you started cosplaying, you were into comics and into, sci-fi and stuff like that?
Yes, I played a lot of video games. I was very artistic, so I did draw and paint a lot, so that actually helps with my cosplay.
Okay.
I was really into Harley Quinn, Batman, animated series.
Because I always like, you go on Instagram, you go on, social media, you see everybody in cosplay and stuff like that, and you always wonder, what's their purpose? Are they doing it just to get followers? Are they doing it, but you were always into comics.
Yeah, my dad actually got me into, he was a big Batman fan and also really into Star Wars, so he got me all into that.
What's your favorite incarnation of Harley Quinn?
That's really hard to choose. I mean, I have to go with classic because, there's the first time you see her, it's just...
Like Paul Dini?
Her bodysuit and everything, it's Jester Sue's classic.
Very cool. Where can people find you on social media?
I'm on Instagram at KVictoriaC, also Twitter, and then you can find me on Facebook at KVictoria Cosplay.
Very cool. Thanks for talking to me. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. So hope you enjoyed the interview with Kay. She was really nice. She was willing to talk to us. She was actually the first person that I got the guts to go up to and ask for an interview. She was dressed up like Harley Quinn. She was awesome. Mike was like, Steve, go get your microphone. Go start talking to the girls over there at the cosplay corner. So I sucked it up and I went and did it. And she was the first one that I got to interview. You can follow her on Facebook at KVictoria Cosplay. Also on Instagram, KVictoriaC. And same thing on Twitter, KVictoriaC. So thank you to Kay Victoria for that really cool interview.
It's time once again for your favorite segment. What time is it?
Social shit time!
All right!
I only have one thing for social shit time, unless you guys have anything from interactions with people on Facebook and stuff like that. I got a tweet from Nate from Aussie and the Palm that said that I am his hero because I had the guts to buy a $2,000 guitar and then just walk upstairs and tell my wife and nothing happened. And he thought that that was pretty monumental. I try, Russ, but I got to give it all to Nicole. She is a very understanding woman, and she lets me do things like that. And I'm very lucky to have someone like that in my life. You like that? See how I say it? Huh? You like that? Good. Okay.
Our friend Phil
Yeah.
left us a comment on our page.
Okay.
Back when we were talking about monocles.
What'd he say?
And he posted a clip from Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There's the guy.
Monopoly guy.
Yep.
I think the fact that you are able to buy a $2,000 guitar is amazing.
Uh-huh. So you agree with Nate?
Yeah. I think it's also insane that you did it. Like, if you have that kind of get out of jail free card, you save it.
For what?
I don't know, a murder?
Well, I got Marie for that.
Yeah, but when you murder someone...
Right. And lastly, we got a new review on iTunes, review number 34. So this is not the winner of the pop vinyl. Only review number 35 will be the winner of the pop vinyl. But Joe, you want to read that out loud for us?
So Ray GFX left us a very great review a while back. I said, this show was awesome. I'm very new into this podcast, and being that they're in my own backyard, I love it already. These guys sit down and discuss all things TV and film and make it fun and interesting. Being that I'm not really a TV or film kind of guy, it's saying something that I'm actually able to listen. I absolutely recommend this podcast and highly suggest you hit the subscribe button. You will not be disappointed.
There you have it. I couldn't say it any better. Again, number 35 is going to get that Funko Pop, that Batman the Animated Series Funko Pop. Well, there you have it, everybody. Join the conversation on Facebook.com/Dinner and a Podcast. You can check out our Instagram and our Twitter handles at Dinner and Podcast. And email us any questions and comments or show topics that you want to hear at dinnerandpodcast@gmail.com. Kate sent us a really nice request, and we got it done for her. Yep. So you can also do the same. Big thanks to Andrew Brookes for the amazing artwork that he does and the animations he creates on the YouTube channel. Though you can search those on YouTube by searching Dinner and a Podcast, and you can check out Andrew's other work by visiting his website, andrewbrooksportfolio.com. You can check out Alejandro Rosado, who made us our amazing artwork. You can follow him on Twitter and Instagram at AleroArt. Will Shelton for the awesome theme song that you hear. You can follow him on SoundCloud at William_Shelton. And lastly, a big thanks to Tony Wolf, who's the voice you hear on all the bumpers during the show. You can follow him at Tony Wolfness on Twitter and on Instagram. And until next week, I'm Steve.
I'm Joe.
I'm Mike.
Suck it, Sale.